Hey everyone, and as promised, we actually have some footage of our opponent going up against this ultimate defense. If you guys are coming in from the ultimate defense video, this is going to be a little bit different. Remember, guys, this is the first time this was really attempted with this power of a team, and I want you guys to watch because it is not as simple as we think it is. We're gonna have the benefit of hindsight to really break down this video's gameplay, figure out where we can make our best attempts on it, and more importantly, I've heard that a Heroes for Hire team this specific Kestral for Hire team can potentially be one-shot by a Shadowlands team. Stay tuned, we're gonna go over that in a second here. All right, so first things first, this is something you want to understand. In this specific scenario, Hanger is up. And so I want you guys to think about that when you're thinking about using this team to basically sack and go after Kestral. Okay? So you're going to see that everything starts with defense down. That is a default status that's being provided by the room. There is nothing you can do. Even immunity would not prevent that from being applied. That is always applied regardless. All right, so and we're going to show you guys the stats because Daredevil had the lowest health. That was an assist, and you guys will notice that does not proc the Kestral. All right, because there's no attack. So then the next attack is going to be Moon Knight because of the fact that Hanger was up. So be aware. So realistically, you want to get Kestral down as soon as possible. Kestral is able to do massive amounts of damage. And once she's off the board, this team is still very, very scary. But for a lot of this is a win. Right? This is a huge win. This means that even if you die over here, you're not having to face this team. So even if that is the best you do, that is a win. You'll see that Colleen Wing already had a charge removed from her own attacks. And this was largely due to the reflex over here. Over here, you'll see that he has defense down. I probably would have played it into him because he had with this. I probably would have played it into there, try to get another charge off of her, maybe get Colleen out of the picture here. But then there goes our friend Moon Knight. Offense downs on the team. There's the flip. So we get offense up back. But again, Kestral goes down pretty quickly with Shadowlands. And so it's a two-shot at the worst if played correctly. And the right reasonable power level, guys. And we're going to show you guys the power level here to understand the territory we're dealing with. Okay? So still made a number of dents over here, was able to get the charge down, was able to remove some charges, which is a big deal. As long as he gets them below 50% health, the charges will not be up on spawn. So removing charges from the team is important, and that'll be important going forward. So basically, that is what it looks like here. And at the very worst, you killed Kestral. It's solvable by another team here. Okay, now, what else have we learned? This was a Shadowlands in the video. You'll see that it isn't unreasonable. His Night Nurse is the highest. Obviously, there's some significant amounts of investment, but you're looking at gear tier 15, 15, and 14s here. Individual stats, Electra was 269k health. White Tiger was 274k health. Night Nurse was 360k health, and this is going to be the important factor here. All right, this may be where you're going to be comparing your Night Nurse versus that Kestral and understanding how much damage she can sustain. Moon Knight was a 5 red G14, and there's that damage. Because he was the lowest health, he was the initial target of the Colleen Wing assist. So all these things make sense in the video. So, remember guys, the team isn't unbeatable. However, it is likely a 2-shot plus. Defense down is already a troubling environment to overcome, and more importantly, it may not work without Hanger Up. The fact that we got some debuffs from Moon Knight actually made it so that Kestral was deleted. And I think that may be a problem going forward. So now, do you prioritize your hanger positioning to make sure that this team works so you're able to get through your opponent's defense? Well, that's on you and your alliance. I will say that Shadowlands is probably the best solution we have just because of the overall speed. And more importantly, this team is worth bringing up. They are a Doom Hood counter. They are so good at beating everything else in the field right now. So this is the current war offense that wins. It can one-shot with defense up with Kestral, the K4H team, as we're calling it. Okay? It can one-shot them. However, perfect play, perfectly played and perfect RNG and hanger up. And even then, I think Moon Knight does have that random factor of debuffs that are going to be applied. So that'll factor into that greatly. So be prepared, guys. This is something you're going to be seeing on War. We've already started to see it, and remember, things trickle out from strategy. So we wanted to make this video so you guys weren't frustrated, and we gave you guys the solution as well as the problem. Wink, wink, right? If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Yeah, all right, whatever. I follow my own rules. I made that whole thing, you know. Yeah, anyway. But realistically, this is an amazing frustration because this is just showcasing kind of the power leaps that we're facing here on War. This War defense team is unlike anything we've seen, where it literally is ultra challenging, even more than Shield was and the other teams that we faced. This has been built to last. It's been built to basically restore if you don't take out certain characters. Cough, cough, Misty Knight. And more importantly, it is challenging the very concept of what War looks like for us here. Now, I want to be very cautious. Again, if you guys didn't check on the last video, new teams coming on the horizon. Which do you invest in? War offense or War defense? I feel like the safest bet right now is probably a little bit in Shadowlands to help you overcome this team until the next team comes out. But that team is shaping up to be an arena meta in a lot of other categories. Tomorrow's video is going to go through my thoughts. We'll probably do a full video on Friday if there's more characters to be revealed. And we'll talk about, is the new Infinity Watch the team that's going to let you guys jump the meta and get into the arena meta as well. So realistically, the folks that have invested in their Heroes for Hire have really gotten at least a whole patch worth of defensive wins out of it. It's up to you and your alliance to determine if it's worth it. Okay, so a couple of things I want to just highlight again. I don't think this counter works as well if you don't have a large enough Night Nurse. Now, Night Nurse, unfortunately, is going to be a character that, because of the raid changes, I'm not sure. Well, I think she's probably still going to be a skill highlight. And probably with your support ISOs, you probably can justify bringing her in there. So the fact that she's the largest and she does all the work as a reactive heal is a big deal. You can kind of coordinate on your team, and you may have to change some ISOs potentially depending on who you built up. But realistically, it'll shape up relatively similar to this. The fact that the highest damage here was Electra is kind of nice, because then you're not White Tiger's not taking a lot of that early damage unless the team kind of push. You know, he's able, or correction, after Moon Knight went down pretty quickly, you saw those 4 bleeds. Again, if certain things happened, he could have potentially flipped them with Night Nurse, but she got ability blocked because of her health. Again, there's ways to change that depending on how you want to build it. I still think that with her health, with the reactionary heal, that's the way they were able to overcome this. So stay tuned. Like I said, I guarantee there's more videos out there. The content creator community is really working on getting these solutions for you, because we don't want you to be frustrated by this team on War. The reason why we held this off is because the first folks that found this were threatening to quit the game because they thought it had broken the game drastically. And I'm glad we were able to come with a solution that at least gave us the ability to overcome it. So hopefully this holds true. And again, guys, give me some feedback if you guys are able to overcome it with something else. Again, remember, we're all better together. And more importantly, you guys will see Balbaroy's video in here if you guys want to take a look through it again to get an idea of the kill order, what happened, and why. You'll see all the numbers are here as well. So we'll have Balbaroy's video. Again, thank you to RemanX for being an awesome opponent, working with us to capture this footage, because it's a rare opportunity it is to get a picture of your a video of your defense and see it in action. Thank you again.